Hey, this is Dr. Scott Banks here. I'm sitting in my backyard and just kind of thinking about what patients can do at this point to resist getting infected with COVID-2, and if you do get infected, what's the best way to ensure that you don't end up in the hospital and, God forbid, on a ventilator and in the ICU, or pass on. So we've learned a lot of things, and we know that the patients that are at the biggest risk have high BMIs, that's high body mass index. They're diabetic, they're metabolic syndrome, they have blood sugar issues, they have comorbidities, that means they have autoimmune issues. So the time to fix the roof is when the sun is shining, from the words from John F. Kennedy. And so the goal is really to make your body strong so you can resist getting infected in the first place. So if you're a diabetic, a insulin-dependent diabetic, or a non-insulin dependent diabetic, it's really time to get your blood sugar under control. The best way to do that is really through diet. On my website, spinelife.com, at the bottom of the homepage is a recipe for a milk that I make out of seed, flaxseed, hemp seed, chia seed. I do that every morning. It's really one of the best things that you can do. And then juicing. I juice with dandelion greens, broccoli spear, red or green kale or dino kale, red bell pepper, and a carrot. These are ways to give your body antioxidants and nutrients that really help you. So if you're overweight, you got a high BMI, big belly, your blood sugar is borderline high, fasting insulin, which is a number that most doctors don't look at, but that should be below 5. If you're at 12, 15, 17, you're already insulin resistant, and so we need to reverse that. We can do that. One of the best tools that I've done with patients over the last 2 years is a product called Prolon, which stands for Pro Longevity. It's a 5-day fasting mimicking diet. You do it for 3 consecutive months. This is based on the work of Dr. Walter Longo, who's a research scientist at University of Southern California, Center for Longevity. He doesn't take a dime from the book. He doesn't take a dime from the product. It all goes into a foundation known as createcures.org. And they do a tremendous amount of research. I've seen dramatic weight loss on patients in a relatively short period of time. I had a woman who's 340 pounds just recently called me. She's done 6 rounds of Prolon. She's lost 85 pounds. That's life-changing. I've had patients that were diabetic that are not diabetic. I've had people lose 35, 40 pounds in 2 rounds of Prolon. So this is a very safe way, doctor supervised, safe. You're doing it with a fasting mimicking diet, very specifically researched, calibrated food, being done at MD Anderson Cancer Center, the Cleveland Clinic, research, money given by the National Institute of Health. There's about 8,000 clinics around the country. I've been using it in my practice very successfully with patients that want to engage and get healthy. Another thing that I think is really one of the best things that you can do to boost your immune system is to get outside. It's a beautiful day here today in New York. I hear the birds chirping. I'm getting ready to go for a nice bike ride. When you exercise, you improve your immune response. You improve something known as natural killer cells, and that's exactly what they are. They're killer cells that seek and destroy pathogens that make it into your body, including viruses. So exercise becomes a really very important thing. Just to walk into the woods and get that smell of the oils that are coming off the trees and in the forest is very powerful for you. Even just once a week to do that would be quite substantial in raising your natural killer cells. And there's been research on that to prove that. So we have 2 different parts of our immune system. We have our innate immune system, which we are born with, and that's your epithelial defense and your white blood cells like macrophages and monocytes and lymphocytes and dendritic cells. And one of those type of innate immune cells is known as natural killer cells. The goal is not to let the virus into your body. Keep your microbiome in your respiratory tract, in your digestive tract, and in your nose very strong and solid. I find that zinc lozenges in the form of zinc arginate or zinc gluconate or zinc glycinate in a lozenge form that you let dissolve in your oral mucosa is your first line of defense. Don't let the virus get into your body. I like colostrum. I like serum-derived immunoglobulins. I like really good quality probiotics. These are things that are going to improve your barrier function. Natural killer cells, dendritic cells, hover around respiratory, epithelial, digestive epithelial, around areas where pathogens can invade into your body. We know that when you're under heat stress, cold stress, food stress, or even just physiological stress, like fasting, then your body's going to improve and increase your natural killer cells, which is really the bottom line. We want to improve natural killer cells. Another really beneficial thing that I have found to be quite substantial, and I've learned a lot of this from listening to Rhonda Patrick. She's a PhD. She has a website and a robust podcast called Found My Fitness, is the benefit of sauna. There's a dry sauna, there's a finished sauna, and a far infrared. We have a portable far infrared sauna in the office and in my house, and I use it every day. And it heats you up from within. It goes about 1.5 inches into your body with a wavelength of 4 to 14 microns. This is known as way-on therapy or far infrared. The sauna is very, very powerful. I can't tell you how powerful that is, but if you look at what we learned from the 1918 flu, where a lot of sick people, young, healthy people that were healthy, then got sick, went into the army camps. A lot of them died from the influenza, but the ones that went into the sanitariums that were run by the Seventh-day Adventists, they used hydrotherapy, which is sort of like sauna. There was hot packs, cold, and we know that now that actually improves your natural killer cells. So I go into a sauna at least 20 minutes every day, 4 times a week minimum. For 20 minutes at a clip is going to raise your natural killer cells. You're also going to lose a lot of weight dramatically, and you're going to detox. The combination of Prolon, I would put patients into a product called Ultra Glucose Control or the Designs for Health Veggie Meal Lean Body program. Use products like cinnamon, vanadyl sulfate, chromium, alpha lipoic acid. These are all great nutrients for blood sugars. Give patients an oil change, get rid of a lot of the omega-6 and the trans fats and the saturated fats, and incorporate, polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats with nuts and seeds and good fish fat. These are all things that control inflammation but also help your body lose weight. So what happens with this disease? We first thought that it was a respiratory disease. It bound to the ACE2 receptor, the angiotensin converting enzyme receptor in your lungs. That's how it gets in. But it does the damage in the endothelium of your arteries and froze clots, and people get this cytokine inflammatory storm. So one of the ways that we can make sure that you decrease that inflammation is a couple really good nutrients to support mitochondrial function in the endothelium wall. The most important is NAC, or N-acetylcysteine, which is the precursor to glutathione. Glutathione I thought would be a household word by now, but it's not. It's something I take every day. I like it from Apex Energetics. It's called trisomal glutathione. It's got the reduced glutathione in it, S-acetylglutathione, and N-acetylcysteine in a liquid. I put it in my mouth. I do it twice a day. I actually do it before I go in the sauna. I just feel it's really going to help me detox tremendously. Another very good nutrient is quercetin. We know that has tremendous antiviral properties and acts as a zinc ionophore, which gets zinc into the cell, which actually kills the virus. So zinc becomes very, very powerful. Vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin D. So D becomes very, very important. We want to be able to support a couple of antioxidant systems in the mitochondria. One is known as SOD, or superoxide dismutase. The other one is catalase, and the other one is glutathione peroxidase, or reduced glutathione. So these are very, very important nutrients that I can help you navigate and get your body under control, because this virus is not going away. And when this one goes away, there'll be another one, because people are ripe. And one of the reasons why I think the United States is so high in numbers of cases and death is because generally we're a sick population. We rely on pharmaceuticals. We reuse 75% of the world's pharmaceuticals, but we only make up 3 to 4% of the world population. And so why are we so sick? We're sick because the food is sick, the diet is sick, people don't exercise enough. I look around, people are obese. All right, so if you're obese, we got to turn that around. If your diet's poor, we need to turn that around. If you're not exercising, we got to get you to exercise. The research on Prolon shows that you create something known as autophagy. Auto means self, phagy is eating, and so when you fast, you stress your body, and your body dumps out toxic, dysfunctional immune cells. So if you have an autoimmune disorder and you have beat up immune cells, when you go on a fast, your body gets rid of a lot of those dysfunctional cells. So we're able to get rid of beat up cells, and then when you refeed, you create new healthy pluripotential new stem cells that are naive and that are not autoimmune. So we can reverse a lot of these things. So if you have an ANA or anti-nuclear antibodies, or if you have Sjogren's syndrome or lupus or MS or rheumatoid arthritis or a neurodegenerative disorder like Parkinson's, MS, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, and you're not too far along, Prolon becomes a very, very good thing for you to reset, regenerate, and rejuvenate from within. So these are things that I've been doing as a functional medicine doctor. I've been practicing since 1982 in Huntington. I wrote a book called Natural Cures for Dummies, published by Wiley. It was the #1 book on Amazon in the alternative healthcare arena for several months when it came out. And I am a student of the Institute for Functional Medicine. If you'd like to learn more about this information, medcram.com is a great source of information on COVID, where Dr. Roger Swalt, puts out an update just about every other day. So if you need help navigating the waters, if you're scared, if you're hunkered down, if you're locked down in your house, if you've gained weight during this pandemic, let me help you. You can contact me. My office is in Huntington, New York, but we can do consults all around the country. My phone number is 631-271-0770. You can contact us through our website, which is spinelife.com or huntingtondisccenter.com, and send us an email at sbanks@spinelife.com.